What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, aka AJ from Queens. How's everybody doing? Before I get started today, this is really kind of strange because I literally just found out that Charlie Kirk just got assassinated, and I know 2 weeks ago we did a video game on the kind of like shitting on debate bros, and Charlie Kirk kind of got his career started from being one of those like debate me bros, and yes, regardless what you thought about him politically, and trust me, I'm nowhere near the type of person to talk politics with. I am gray. I'm an independent. I think conservatively in some areas, liberally in other areas, just like I think most intelligent people should. Politics isn't a left or right thing. It isn't a right or wrong thing. It is a complicated system. So as you get older, you tend to become more conservative with things, but it doesn't mean that you abandon all of your liberal beliefs. So I kind of like am stuck in the middle. But regardless of what I think, there's one thing that's for certain, and that was a absolute tragedy, and my heart goes out to him and his family. He was a father, which breaks my fucking heart. And it's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing. We live in a sick world, and it's nothing that should be taken lightly. Now, with that out of the way, thank you for clicking on the video. Again, it's your boy Muddy, aka AJ from Queens. What's going on, Evan? I see you, boy. And today we're gonna get into something that really pissed me off. Okay, because I don't know if any of you guys know, but if you guys are music fans like how I am, and I'm assuming, you know, my channel focuses on all things kind of media-related, gaming, film, music, TV shows, all that stuff. I'm a huge fan of music, but more importantly, I'm a huge fan of rock and roll music. So I came across this channel around, I don't know, I'd say a year ago, around so, and it was cool. It went into all things that I liked. You know, I'm a big 2000s, like 90s to 2000s rock and roll guy, like that, you know, pop punk scene, the emo scene, that like alternative scene, the grunge scene, all that stuff is really fucking cool to me. And he was all about it. Like he did videos on like fucking Sugar Ray, 3 Days Grace, Nirvana, fucking Guitar Hero. I mean, this is right up my alleyway. And you know, mathcore, you know, math rock and shit like that. Like literally, like he mentions Midwest emo in his videos, and like that's such a specific brand and genre of music that I actually like. I'm a huge fan of, like bands like Free Throw and Hot Mulligan and you know, Tiny Moving Parts and stuff like that. Like I fucking love that shit. You know, they're great bands, and he was the only channel that I could find that would talk about things like Blink-182, Pantera, but he dropped like a freaking Tiny Moving Parts reference, and I'm like, there's nobody else doing that. You know what I mean? But lo and behold, turns out this guy's a complete fucking fraud, as you can tell by my thumbnail. Fighting Fantano. Speaking of Anthony Fantano, we're going to go into his video here. He lied about everything by my boy Anthony Antano. He doesn't even like music. He's literally like this fucking marketing genius. This fucking little piece of shit nerd right here, this balding 40-year-old asshole, is literally like a LinkedIn marketing fucking like entrepreneur fucking genius who had his video scripts literally Wikipedia'd before, and like he had ChatGPT write him a fucking script, and because he has like an overall knowledge of the music scene, because I mean I wouldn't doubt I don't buy the fucking fact that this guy doesn't like music. I mean, you'll see in the interview that he does with Jesse something. I'll find out in a second. that he claims that he doesn't even fucking like music, which doesn't make sense because he grew up literally in the industry. And having somebody that will talk as passionately about fucking Pantera that he did, he's either like a James Gandolfini level actor where he had us all fucking fooled. Like he pulled the grift of all grifts. Or he's kind of lying to himself and to make himself seem like a fucking cool dude. Like, I met my financial goals. I don't need to do this stuff anymore. Hey, how you doing? He doesn't talk like Silvio Dante from The Sopranos, but like still, like he came off as like a hothead. Like, oh, I don't even fucking like music. You know, like I did it for the money, and now I have all the money in the world, so I don't need to do this anymore. You know, but why would you do that? Why would you alienate your fan base? You know what? I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's get into, we'll do the Anthony Fantano video first, and then we'll jump into this Rise and Fall of Finn McKenty by my boy Coolea, another channel that he talks about Midwest emo and all those kind of like subgenres like post-hardcore, you know, title fight, bands like that. Fucking, I mean, you don't find a lot of these channels on here. Mike the Snare is another great freaking channel that talks about music like that. But we'll get into Fantano first. We'll watch the interview and we'll take it from there. So, Tantony Fantano, take it away.
Man down, man down, man down. Hi, everyone. Anthony Fantano here.
Oh, he said his name right.
Music nerd. Let's talk about a bit of a tectonic shift that just happened on music YouTube. A fellow content creator on this platform who for a long time, really for a period of years, has operated in the music space, has recently called it quits. No more YouTube or music or even Twitch content. Totally done. Kaput. Talking.
Which is fine. Like, I understand if you have burnout, right? Like, everybody has burnout. I have burnout, and I'm not even a fucking big channel. But doing this full time, I mean, it could really weigh down on you, especially when you're like day in, day out doing things that you fucking love. Like, if he actually does love music, like talking about it every day could be tough. You know, my dad always told me back in the day that keep your hobbies, and your work, because when you mesh the two, it could get kind of not confusing, but it could ruin the passion a little bit. So I understand if he got burnt out, but it turns out that wasn't even the fucking case.
About Mr. Finn McKenty, aka the punk rock MBA. Finn is somebody whose content I have consumed for a minute. He is somebody who I have done some crossover content with. I have literally met this man in person. And for a while, I sort of watched his channel from afar, and regardless of whether or not he covered artists that I like, regardless of whether or not he expressed musical or even political opinions that I personally agreed with, he was somebody who was very persistent and consistent with his content release schedule, with what I saw to be his content quality. Disagreements aside, he was somebody who, I don't know, I didn't really have a whole lot of smoke for, because he just seemed like somebody who worked really hard at what he did and knew what he was doing when it came to just making music content. I mean...
Yeah, I mean, not only that, but he fucking knew his shit. Like, when he talked about Blink-182, like, he talked about the lives of Mark, Tom, and Travis, like, he fucking knew everything about it, but it turns out it was all just a fucking... like a pre-recorded Wikipedia search. And if it's that fucking easy to make YouTube videos, then, you know, why doesn't everybody do it? Which leads me to believe that I don't buy this. We'll go to the interview right away. Let's check this out real quick.
Jesse Lee.
Is that why you started making videos, just because of all the negativity?
No, it's because, like, I don't really have any interest in music. So, I was just doing it for the money, and I hit my financial goals, and so there's really just no reason for me. Like, I don't have to keep doing it. I'm not, you know, our time on this earth is limited. Like, don't spend it doing shit you don't have to do if you don't want to, you know?
I mean, I get it. You know what I mean? Like, but if you... I don't buy... check out some of his... let's go to an obscure video of this. Let's go to the Sugar Ray video, right?
Okay. So I'm so happy to get his cosign on it, because if it bummed him... Most useless toy they could think of.
Oh, I thought he was going to say more useless takes.
And played a ton of local shows before eventually getting a music video shot by a then unknown director called McG, who would go on to shoot videos like All Star by Smash Mouth, Santeria by Sublime, and eventually going on to do TV shows and movies like The OC, Charlie's Angels, and Terminator Salvation. And it all started when McG borrowed $3,000 from his dad to shoot the first Shrinky Dinks video called Caboose.
Speaking of which, look at fucking Sugar Ray here, bro. And you can see why I like his fucking videos. Like, we all know fucking Sugar Ray. You know, every morning had the halo, you know, fucking good 90s, like, poppy shit. But we all fucking love it. You know, Ryan McGrath, whatever the fuck his name is. Like, he's a fucking dick, but he's like the face of E now. Like, it's a fascinating career. Like, so you would see, like, you know what? I want to find out a little bit, you know, this guy's going to do the rise and fall of Sugar Ray. You know, he also, like, really honed in on these rise and fall videos, which is why I added Downfall to the video title. Downfall, rise and fall, the upcoming, all this stuff, like, in the YouTube algorithm really, like, clicks with the consumer base. So a lot of people put that in the title to kind of, like, bump up on the algorithm. But like all his fucking videos had rise and fall, rise and fall, rise and fall, rise and fall. I'll show in a second, but I mean, who wouldn't want to know this? Like,
and while Sugar Ray is known for being a band that kind of jumps between musical styles, especially in the early days, the material that the band was writing while they still went by Shrinky Dinks,
yeah, go for it, Ev.
even further than
what do you
what
got?
they would write as Sugar Ray. It's got the turntable scratching, it's got the raspy "hell yeah, brother" kind of vocals. It's
fucking
in terms
great,
of, like,
dude.
energy and showmanship. And it didn't take long before the band's raw potential would get noticed.
So like, yeah, he has like this is literally what his channel is, and you see the rise and fall, the strange history, the rise, you know, what killed the guitar solo. Like, these are really, as a music fan, especially as a rock and roll fan, like, this was like your go-to, like, #1 YouTube channel. Like, he talked about rockism. Like, rockism is, check this out. It's a fascinating video.
But I care even less about fake punks whining about real punks whining about fake punks.
The term rockism was
Check this
first
out.
coined back in 1981, and it essentially refers to the idea that good music has to look and sound like four guys playing raw, stripped down rock and roll in some kind of, like, greasy dive bar. Or to put a finer point on it, as an article by Khalifa Sena in 2004 said, rockism means idolizing the authentic old legend or underground hero while mocking the latest pop star, lionizing punk while barely...
Yeah, basically, you know, living in the past, you know, saying, you know, oh, rock and roll was so much better in my day. Hold on one second. Let me see if I can... Yeah, Ev, I'll throw you in as a mod. Give me a little bit. I'll do it after the video. But you know what I'm saying? Like, it's like saying, like, oh, you know, like, you know, MGK, you know, that's not real, you know, pop punk. You know, real pop punk was Sum 41. You know, like, that's rockism, right? So he did a whole fucking video on rockism. Not knowing what it is, being introduced into that culture. Like, it was a fascinating fucking thing. So for him to sit here and tell me that he did this all for the money and didn't even have an inkling of fucking interest in the genre of music that he fucking covered so extensively and passionately, I don't buy it. I mean, look at that fucking face. Like that's the face of either a greedy cocksucker or somebody whose ego has completely went through the roof, and he's gonna fucking regret this. I'm gonna tell you right now, because when you put all that money into fucking Bitcoin or fucking Dogecoin, and it fucking drops down, and all of a sudden that fucking wealth and that financial goal that you meant is down the fucking tubes, you're gonna wish you didn't alienate your fucking fan base.
You know, it's like, I made enough money from this. I don't have to keep making videos about System of a Down, so I'm gonna stop.
Man, so you really didn't enjoy it at all? There's just like no part of you that was like, oh, I'm excited to talk about this band today or anything like that. It was always just completely transactional for you.
Yeah, I don't have any interest in music at all.
You don't miss it then. That's what you're getting at.
No.
Yeah.
I don't buy
It's
it.
nice, but
Yeah.
I made enough from it that I'm good.
Yes, at least a few times in this interview posted to YouTube, he confirms a general and total lack of interest in music, even confirms that he has never actively sought out listening to bands like System of a Down.
You like just seem like such a wealth of knowledge. Like you knew so much about the topics you were talking about that I was like, dude, I can't make content. Like I don't know, like the encyclopedia history of all these bands, but like,
Well,
you
neither
just
do
came,
I.
like,
It's just like literally look it up on Wikipedia. I don't know.
I don't
I've
buy
never
that,
listened
dude.
to System of a Down in my life.
I mean,
I
he puts
fucking
it a bit
doubt
more
that.
bluntly than that. I want to give the guy some credit because
Right?
I'm presuming at some point across his lifetime, he has to have heard like chop suey in
Chop
passing,
suey, yeah.
you know? But yeah, despite the fact that this man has made content about System of a Down, he claims to have never really listened to them, which I guess you have to presume is the case for maybe a lot of the artists that he talked about on his channel on a regular basis. But when you analyze...
Yeah, you know, like, I don't fucking buy that for a second. I think he's really just trying to fucking look cool here. Because if he literally has pulled this kind of grift off, like, I'm in awe. I'm in fucking awe. I mean, he could sit here all day and talk about, oh, it was fucking easy. You know, all you gotta do is if I'm gonna do a video about fucking, Green Day, I have a little bit of knowledge of Green Day, but I'll look up some Wikipedia facts and I'll shoot it, edit it, and send it out with a little bit of, pretending like I care about the band. But I've never listened to Green Day in my life. What? I'm not fucking buying that, dude. Let's check out Coolea's video real quick.
Finn McKenty, a man who goes by many names: the punk rock MBA, clueless grifter, disingenuous poser, bold man-child. Regardless of what you may want to call him,
Bold
there's no
man-child
doubting
is
his
correct.
insane influence over online music discussion, even in
Absolutely. By the way, shout out to Coolea. Go sub to his channel, but not before you sub to mine.
his retirement. He has
Love you,
the
Coolea.
entire alternative music side of this platform subject to a never-ending Finn McKenty themed yap session. This video is for entertainment purposes only. Do your own research and don't harass anybody. Over the past
Yeah, same here. Don't go into his comment feed, for instance, and drop a comment on it like he's a absolute asshole, a fucking grifting piece of shit, a douchebag liar. How can you fucking do that to your fan base, you cocksucker? I mean, I would never ask anybody to do that. Never. But, I don't know.
7 years or so, Finn McKenty has become perhaps the biggest channel within the punk and alternative music niche on YouTube, and during his tenure has been able to commit many cardinal sins. Examples of this include describing Lords of Chaos as a good book, and continuously acting as if he's smarter than any music fan or band that may disagree with him. Finn McKenty has become perhaps the most talked about individual within alternative music content at the moment after his recent hypocritical crash-out fueled departure from YouTube. If you're somehow unaware of the drama, after a few months spent away from content creation, Finn McKenty would feature on Jesse Lee's podcast, making some extremely dubious claims in regards to his departure from YouTube. Here are some of the highlights.
It's because I don't really have any interest in music. I was just doing it for the money. Or yeah, I don't have any interest in music.
I love the memes.
After hearing some of these statements, many
Yeah, it's such garbage, bro.
thoughts may come to mind. Why does this man sound and dress like a pouty teenager? Why does he seemingly hate the fan base?
Yeah, but you know what? Let's. I love how the head is not superimposed in the body there. But let's say he's like the world's best fucking actor and he pulled this off. Like, from a marketing perspective, it is pretty fucking genius. I'll give you that. Like, he was raking in a shitload of dough from advertising and YouTube content. All his videos were very vanilla, so they were, weren't age restricted. And he looked and dressed the part. Like, he treated himself as a brand, which is, what we all try to do here on YouTube. But like, you look at the guy, he literally looks like you saw him at a fucking Jimmy Eat World concert in 1997. And he's right there next to you singing, like, fucking, it just takes some time, little girl, you're in it. And you look over and it's like, oh shit, what's up, dude? And he's got like a fucking lip ring in, and he's on like his third fucking, Bud Light. But like, I find it hard to believe that it was all an act.
culture that has paid his bills for years? And perhaps more importantly than both of those questions, how did Finn get away with creating inauthentic music-related content for so long? And why does this perhaps reflect a bigger issue plaguing content creation and alternative music as a whole? To preface this video, obviously I'm a YouTuber that fits into a very similar niche to Finn. I am of course subject to similar criticisms that can be pushed towards Finn McKenty. I have of course spouted idiotic opinions
I love the memes on his videos.
Disagree with due to a larger understanding of the broader subject. Some of my earlier content can be considered low effort in a similar way to Finn's, and I of course have also presented incorrect
No, you don't say.
by mistake. It's almost as if I'm a human being and not the library of fucking
Alright,
Alexandria.
let's go.
I also have never liked
come on.
the music dribble he continues to spout. We don't really need to dig too deep into Finn's psyche to realise that this comment is complete bullshit. Nobody creates a channel about music and consistently brags about having music-related tattoos without having at least a small interest in music.
Look how tatted up this motherfucker is. And again, he was literally drenched in the fucking industry. He knows a lot of these guys, a lot of these artists. I checked on his last video for 3 Days Grace. They literally fucking commented on his video saying thanks for the love. Like, the dude's in the fucking scene. You can't tell me, after 4 years of content creation about artists and rock and all these fucking bands that you clearly have relationships with, that you didn't give a fuck about any of them. I mean, it's like literally coming home and seeing your wife of like 5 years banging like 17 other men, and her turning around after like you had this lovely marriage together. You know, you have 4 kids. You know, you just came back on vacation from the Hamptons. You guys like bang every night. Like, everything is fine. She turns around after this walking in on this gigantic orgy fest, and she goes, "Oh, I never loved you." Like, what? I mean, I know that's fucking like taking it to a whole fucking other level, but you know, like it's that he's a whore. Are you a whore, sir? I think you're a whore. Stop banging other dudes.
Legitimate hardcore scenes and history writing for smaller music publications such as Metal Sucks for what I would assume was little to no money. Finn McKenty continuously brags about his background in marketing, which suggests he has the ability to market to any individual with any interest.
Which is fine, we all do it.
Finn choose to fake his personality for 30 years just to grift about music online, a topic that has notoriously low financial potential. The fact that Finn chose punk and alternative music makes it even more baffling. Let's face it, you crusty underground music fans don't like parting with your money too often. In my eyes, there's only 2 options here. Either Finn...
And again, like I understand if you go into YouTube content creation with like a very popular fucking niche, you know, like you go into it talking about, politics or, pop culture events, fucking doing, what's Taylor Swift up to today, like doing live TikTok streams on sports and like you're gonna drop your top 6 picks for NFL Week 5. You know, those are like really popular content creation. The dude went into literally the punk rock sphere. You know, that think about the demographic of his fucking videos. Besides me, mid-30s fucking dude, a fucking millennial that has a very specific taste in music, that grew up with that pop punk scene. You have like the Gen Xers, the boomers that believe that Ozzy was the best, the best heavy metalist of all time, and shout out and R.I.P. to Ozzy, by the way. But like you have a very specific fucking demographic of people. It's primarily going to be fucking men, but men of a specific age group and a specific fucking taste in music. I don't understand why he chose that to be his fucking grift. It's very strange, but he did it.
Is incredibly bad at marketing and knows little to nothing about the financial viability of certain markets. Or number 2, he has always been interested in music and originally created the punk rock MBA out of a passion for both the music and the marketing behind the business.
That's what I think it is.
This can be backed up by his early videos that entirely focus on the more business aspects of music. This was then slowly replaced by rise and fall videos, which notoriously do very well on YouTube regardless of the niche.
Like I said.
It seems Finn was essentially told by the mighty algorithm that rise and fall videos were the way to go, entirely ditching what he was previously passionate about and originally created the channel to do. Instead of sticking to his passion and waiting it out, he continued with the deep dives and history videos, regardless of his particular interest in creating that style of content.
Yeah, so probably he did what a lot of people do when you do YouTube, right? So I'm in a very strange place myself, right? I'm and a channel update while I'm doing this. I'm going to be kind of like splitting up the channel, okay? And there comes a time in YouTube content creation where you have to make a move, right? Your subscribers count starts dipping like it has for my channel. You start doing diving into topics that are kind of like all over the place, and the better thing to do, and this is what I'm going to start doing, is kind of like divvying it up. Okay, so I'm a channel for live streaming your Let's Plays, you know, a channel for gaming content, if you're going to do that, a channel for like history and lore videos, a channel for music, you know, and if you're doing that, right, to gain more followers and to potentially monetize your channel, when you get to the point where that one channel out of the 5 that you've created clicks, if that happens to be the one that you're not that into, that kind of sucks, you know. And in his case, if he wasn't that into the rise and fall videos, right, but that was the one that was really gaining him steam, then I could understand why he got burnt out real quick, because he has to make those videos in order to make that money. That money. I don't know why I turned into fucking a 25-year-old black TikTok influencer, but there's like a clear source for why he got burnt out. And it happens to fucking a lot. It happens all the fucking time. You know, if I were to split my channel up into, you know, gaming, movies, TV, the history of ancient Spanish lore, and that was the one that hit it. I mean, I like Spanish lore. I mean, we could talk about the Inquisition. We could talk about the invasion of the Moors. You know, no, but that's not what I'm fucking into. I want to talk about fucking Dead Space. I want to talk about Ghost of Tsushima. You know, it would be a little. It would break my heart in two that people aren't interested in the shit that I want to do. But when you want to make that money. Sometimes your hand is forced.
With this style of content for years, although the videos did slowly start to water down into a flavourless form of sludge, which is seemingly thanks to Finn's inability to ignore any form of negative attention he may receive online. The online perception of Finn slowly began to deteriorate as it became obvious the way in which he presented opinions was incredibly unhealthy and at times could be seen as egotistical. Obviously, the presentation of opinions is a huge part of any YouTube channel that discusses art as subjective as music. It's almost impossible to produce content on the topic of music without throwing in at least a few opinions. This became a problem for Finn due to the way in which he presented his opinions. He rarely presented an opinion as simply just an opinion. He presented it as a fact, and anyone that disagreed with him must have simply been wrong or knew less about the business than him.
Yeah, not a good idea, because then you come off looking like an arrogant asshole. Right, and again, remember a couple weeks ago when we talked about the Debate Me Bros and the Debate Me YouTube channels? A lot of those fucking people fall into that. You know, the whole point is to state your case and, you know, hopefully come to a conclusion with the other party that you're debating. But a lot of these people are so hard-lined on the issues that they come into, like, this gigantic, egotistical, I'm right, whatever you say doesn't matter, I am the king of all knowledge. And that's unfortunate, because then you start to want to talk about alienating your fan base. That's number one of how you fucking do it. Sorry, I'm doing something real quick.
Obviously due to his marketing degree. He would then proceed to yap about something that was obviously intended to piss off a particular crowd he didn't like, which all culminated in Finn getting upset after receiving criticism for that particular yap. This was clearly presented throughout various videos such as his notorious black metal and trap metal videos, both of which presented
What the fuck is
opinions
trap
as
metal?
divisive as all black metal sounds the same, and the idea that metal fans are racist because they don't like trap metal. This leads us to what I call the McKenty comment section cycle. Finn would often claim how he reads every comment and DM he may receive, which is
it's such a
essentially
fucking bad
mental
idea.
death wish for any YouTuber, let alone one that discusses opinions on music. You guys are fucking ruthless. It was clear to everyone viewing Finn's videos, whether it be a fan or a hate watcher, that McKenty was willing to read through and reply negatively to many of these comments, which in real life terms is essentially akin to dangling a fishing rod into a pool of sweaty overweight piranhas that bite you with grammatically incorrect insults as opposed to teeth. This led to way more negative
fuck was that?
engagement towards Finn. He would argue with individuals in the comments, Twitter wouldn't stop shitting on him, and the vast majority of the McKenty discussion online became negative. This makes
Yeah, but you know what? Bad publicity is good publicity. Any fucking publicity is good publicity, especially when you get your fucking blah, 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 when you want to get your feet off the ground. Okay, honestly, if I were to start and say something controversial on fucking Twitter, or did a fucking YouTube video about, why, getting angry at Asian people for being so smart, like if something that like stirs up fucking controversy, I'd be looked at and I'd feel like a fucking asshole. But you look at the fucking views and you look at the comments and you're like, I got 127 comments in this fucking video. I don't give a fuck that they're angry with me. And then all you do is jump on that comment section, shit talk, and have your ego take over and tell everybody that they're wrong and fucking shit talk all these people and just start adding more fucking lighter fluid to the fire. Just like pouring all that fucking hate-filled lighter fluid onto the fucking barbecue. That's how you do it.
like something entirely negative. Although
I mean, that's how you can do it if you want to do it. But I mean, these are all like the hidden things behind YouTube content creation that are pretty goddamn fucking ugly and what we actually fucking go through.
from a marketing perspective, there was just one big positive: the fact that the McKenty discussion was happening at all. This leads me to believe that Finn may have acted this way on purpose, or he's just stupid. It's rare that somebody who wants to sell you something actually cares about your opinions, and with Finn being the marketing genius he claims to be, an encouragement of negative engagement can quite clearly positively affect Finn's content within the algorithm,
Yeah.
increasing his potential earnings. Although this may sound like a long shot, it could make some sense. His recent comments and attitude towards his YouTube audience suggests that he doesn't really give a fuck about what we or they think, and his passion towards marketing may propose the idea that Finn is willing to do anything for attention, whether that be negative attention or not. Although what do I know, I dropped out of marketing and got a media production degree instead.
So I'm gonna stop it here, guys. Check out the rest of Coolea's video. It's fucking fantastic. But I need to hammer this home. All right, if Finn McKenty really didn't give a fuck about music, I feel like it would have showed at least on one of his videos. But as you can see, I've watched pretty much all of these. The My Chemical Romance video. You damn sure know I fucking watched this Blink-182 video. I skipped a Slipknot one, but A Day to Remember. I mean, I've watched a large majority of these videos, from Skyrock to, and I was a fucking stan of his channel. I could tell you right now, the guy literally was either the world's best fucking actor or has no fucking soul. Or is a fucking lying piece of shit. One or the other. I needed to create this video to literally stick this middle finger up and just say, dude, fuck you, man. I have no idea what you're fucking thinking. If you ever need to come back on YouTube, okay, if your money somehow finds its way dwindling down to close to what you made before you started YouTube, don't expect your fans to come back. Because I fucking damn sure ain't coming back. Muddy88 AJ from Queens, thank you for joining on the live stream. I'm going to hop on and do some Bloodborne content now. I am about to face this weird-ass fucking boss that turned from a woman to this gigantic creature. That's Souls games for you. But yeah, make sure to like, share, subscribe, comment, do all that bullshit. I promise you guys, I will never fucking do this. I have too much of a soul. I like each and every one of you fucking guys. Everybody that tunes into this channel, I appreciate more than you could possibly fucking imagine. So thank you again for checking out the video. And yeah,